Good evening. Just a quick video regarding, unfortunately, Major League Baseball's decision to apparently pay to have more African American players. I think most people would agree that if anything, they have a large proportion of African American players. I don't know the exact numbers, but you don't need to add it up. There's certainly a high percentage of African American players in baseball. A lot of Hispanics. Um, I don't really see any discrimination issues there. It's a very competitive sport. Certainly, there's a lot of owners out there that would be willing to sign somebody if they thought they'd be a good addition to the team. You see that a lot of people with questionable criminal records getting signed. So I don't know what would stop them from signing someone else. But what you're not going to hear, though, is the NBA. Glaring question would be, why wouldn't the NBA? Definitely has a shortage of white players. I don't have a problem with that. But if anything, you should be hearing that. So why aren't we hearing that? Well, the obvious answer is that they're playing a political game, which is bad, as we've discussed before, is bad for any business. You can see the NBA Finals numbers down last year. NFL is down. Baseball salaries are down. I guess these sports don't get the message that the viewers are, just going to shed and not watch, and devalues the business model. So basically what there could be headed is back to the Negro Leagues, where you have, a fraction of the revenue, less viewers. Basically you end up back at square one. You're just going to convince your own people. Conservatives are going to tune that out, and you're just going to end up with your own audience. You're not going to get any additional followers with that strategy. So what matters really is someone's market value, and that's something that can't be changed by a business. That's just the law of one price. You have all these employers and people. Everybody wants to make, $1 million. Every business wants to pay them, $10,000, and they converge on a price, and that's what people get paid. So it's not discrimination. Anyone who would be discriminated against is somebody who's not working because they're not getting paid enough. And that's happened to me too. So it's not just African Americans. It's up to them, African Americans, to invest. They get the same return as any other race on a investment. So it's up to them to manage their money properly and invest it. Those earnings are always higher than employees anyways. So even if there was a salary difference, it wouldn't explain a wealth gap. But market value is what matters. It can't be changed through discrimination. But basically, the trade-off here for Major League Baseball is the loss of viewers. They're going to have less viewers. Their beliefs going to fall on deaf ears because it's not true. You can see the attendance down, certainly down in a lot of stadiums. Just looking at the Yankees tickets, I mean, my goodness, you can find anything for under $40 10 years ago. And now I see tickets under $7, $8. I mean, that's just the majority of stadiums. They're just, the ticket prices are down. So the trade-off there is less viewers. Baseball's not going to change anything. It's up to each person, not business. It's up to each person to manage their money. That's no one else's fault. That's up to the employee once they receive that money to invest it instead of waste it on a Peloton bike or an iPhone or a big home. So it's up to that person to manage that money. Um, not it's not the business's fault, whatever they do with that money. Um, and last but not least, um, just a small note. I think we've covered the most important stuff. Baseball is not the sole. Basically, Major League Baseball, by doing these kinds of things, they're acting like they're the eye in the sky, and they believe that African Americans are discriminated against because they have a lower net worth. And that's just not true. Uh, Baseball is not the expert here. They probably did absolutely no research on this subject. Um, anybody who buys a stock, anybody who bought a share in Microsoft when Bill Gates had his first share would get the same return. Even with one share today would be worth millions, if not billions. So, that's up to an African American to invest the money instead of spending it. That's nobody's fault. Business can't decide what that person does with that money, so they're not reliable for that. So Major League Baseball is wrong here, 100% wrong. And the side note is, there's no reason to criticize what I've said here today. If you have a better idea, I'm all ears. If somebody has a better idea, I think that's great. But criticizing my idea just accomplishes doesn't do anything.